Hola, muy buenos días a todos. Nos da muchísimo gusto que nos acompañen en este webinar de todos los jueves de Jóvenes de Excelencia y Audacia. Hoy estamos pues muy contentos porque vamos a tener a tres universidades pues muy interesantes en Canadá. Como pueden ver aquí en su pantalla, es University of Saskatchewan, Université Laval y McMaster University. Estas tres universidades son parte del consorcio Caldo, como hemos pues platicado en otras ocasiones. Hoy tengo el gusto pues de presentarles primero a Liliana Santana, que nos está acompañando por parte del equipo también de jóvenes de excelencia. Lili, mucho gusto, bienvenida.
¿Ya me escuchan bien?
Sí, perfecto.
Excelente, muchas gracias. Pues nada más de parte de Jóvenes de Excelencia Citibanamex, darles la más cordial bienvenida a este nuevo webinar de Universidades del Consorcio de Caldo, donde les pedimos, jóvenes, que estén muy atentos a toda la información, que hagan muchas preguntas, que podamos aprovechar muchísimo esta oportunidad. Y como bien lo decía Viviana, si tienen la oportunidad también de inscribirse a esta feria de universidades que van a tener el día de hoy, todavía estamos a tiempo de participar y obtener más información para temas de sus aplicaciones al posgrado. Y pues, sin más preámbulo, Eri, muchísimas gracias. Adelante con toda la información.
Gracias, Lili. En esta ocasión tendremos la sesión de preguntas y respuestas al final, porque, bueno, tenemos tres universidades. Ahora sí que queremos hacer, pues, lo más eficiente este tiempo. Entonces, primero vamos a tener a la Université Laval. Marushka, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Bienvenida.
Bueno, es mi turno. Bueno, buenas tardes a todos. Gracias por su presencia. Voy a compartir mi pantalla. Excelente. Bueno, entonces, ¿cómo hago para cambiar la diapositiva? Bueno, me alegra ver que tienes interés en estudiar en Canadá y, por supuesto, a conocer la Université Laval, ubicada en la linda ciudad de Quebec. Me llamo Marushka Brisbois. Hoy tengo el privilegio de presentarles mi universidad, nuestra oferta de estudios, nuestra excelencia en investigación y, bueno, la vida estudiantil. Con más de 350 años de nuestra universidad, es nuestro orgullo en la ciudad de Quebec. Fundada en 1663, la Université Laval es dentro de las 10 más grandes universidades de investigación de Canadá y figura entre las 20 mejores universidades francófonas del mundo. Víctima de su rápido crecimiento, se trasladó en 1950 a su campus actual que vemos en la foto. Es un campus situado en el... no puedo cambiar, bueno. Es un campus situado en el corazón de la ciudad de Quebec, que le ofrece un entorno de estudio excepcional, con una superficie de 1.8 kilómetros cuadrados, reúne 40 pabellones en un entorno 60% verdes y arboleado, con senderos peatonales y para bicicletas. La universidad goza del 8º puesto mundial por su esfuerzo en materia de lucha contra el cambio climático. Además, los pabellones están conectados por una red de pasillos subterráneos que le permiten trasladarse por el campus protegido de las inclemencias del tiempo. También la Universidad Laval se coloca entre los mejores empleadores de Canadá y tiene el segundo puesto entre las 15 grandes universidades de investigación de Canadá en el plano de la satisfacción de los estudiantes. La ciudad de Quebec es la capital de la provincia de Quebec. Se ubica a orillas del río San Lorenzo y con su encanto europeo forma parte del Patrimonio Mundial de la UNESCO. Es una ciudad que goza con una calidad de vida excepcional. Entre otros, ocupa el primer puesto entre las ciudades más seguras del país. La ciudad es en constante crecimiento. Es un centro económico que se desarrolla gracias al conocimiento y el compromiso de la comunidad. Entre los sectores activos destacan algunas áreas de especialización, tales como electrónica, óptica, fotónica, ciencias de la vida, tecnología de la salud, alimentación y nutrición, tecnología de la información y las comunicaciones, videojuegos y soluciones digitales, seguros y servicios financieros. También cuenta con una de las mejores concentraciones de investigadores en Canadá. La población aprovecha a la vez del acceso a la naturaleza, lagos, ríos, montañas y bosques, y de una rica vida cultural con muchos teatros, museos, restaurantes y festivales. Université Laval en un vistazo. La Université Laval ofrece más de 500 programas de estudios, entre los cuales 280 son programas de posgrados, maestrías y doctorados en todas las áreas del conocimiento. La universidad tiene 17 facultades y una oferta académica muy amplia. Administración y gestión, arte, diseño y música, derecho y estudios internacionales, educación, medio ambiente y desarrollo sostenible, ingeniería, lenguas, letras y comunicación, ciencias de la salud, ciencias humanas y sociales, ciencias puras y aplicadas y tecnología de la información. Desde el inicio, estamos orgullosos de nuestros 319,000 egresados en el mundo. Es interesante decir que más de una decena fueron elegidos primer ministro de Canadá o primera o primer ministro de Quebec. El campus ofrece un entorno de estudio excepcional con 4,000 profesores y otros miembros del personal docente e investigador de renombre internacional. Cada uno ofrece un plan de estudio en línea con nuestros entornos de estudio digital. En términos de investigación, nuestra universidad significa 300 grupos de investigación y cátedras que trabajan en laboratorios y infraestructura de última generación. Grandes proyectos de investigación transdisciplinarios. Entre otros, tenemos Alliance Santé Québec y Pulsar en salud pública, Sentinel Norte o Nord en investigación nórdica, cambios climáticos, óptica, fotónica y salud. Un grupo que estudia los impactos sociales de la inteligencia artificial y la tecnología digital, y Alliance Culture y Numérique, que desarrolla proyectos que estudia el vínculo entre cultura y tecnología digital. También la universidad es la única en Canadá a tener 4 cátedras de excelencia en investigación de Canadá, en las áreas de las innovaciones fotónicas para la información y las comunicaciones, la salud metabólica, la neurofotónica y los ecosistemas marinos árticos, en respuesta a la nueva frontera ártica de Canadá. La universidad cuenta con $4 millones canadienses en fondos de investigación y creación, así que pudo convertirse en una de las universidades de investigación más importantes de Canadá y lograr reconocimiento internacional en algunas áreas de conocimiento. Entre otros, figura entre las 100 mejores universidades del mundo en las siguientes disciplinas: silvicultura, cardiología y sistema cardiovascular, ingeniería minera, anatomía y fisiología, oceanografía, ingeniería en alimentos y agricultura. También nuestra Facultad de Administración de Empresa es una de las pocas escuelas del mundo que cuenta con doble acreditación internacional AACSB y IX. Una multitud de servicios para los estudiantes. La Université Laval ofrece una multitud de servicios para el bienestar y el desarrollo intelectual y profesional de sus estudiantes. Todos tienen por objetivo apoyar a los estudiantes hacia el éxito de sus estudios, su estancia y finalmente su entrada en el mercado laboral. Le enumero algunos de nuestros servicios y infraestructuras que ofrecemos a toda la comunidad universitaria. Bibliotecas, residencias estudiantiles, escuela de idiomas, actividades socioculturales, actividades deportivas, clínica médica, servicio de orientación profesional, becas y asistencia financiera y servicio de bolsa de trabajo. Tenemos bibliotecas modernas y conectadas con 6 millones de libros y la misma cantidad de recursos en línea. Nuestro campus incluye 4 residencias con una capacidad para 2.300 estudiantes y en habitaciones privadas. Nuestros edificios tienen la certificación en desarrollo sostenible Brundtland Green Facility. Una habitación individual cuesta $368 canadienses, o sea, 6.085 pesos mexicanos por mes. Usted podrá disponer de áreas comunes como salas de juegos y estudios, cocina y lavandería. Además, se le pondrá numerosas actividades como noches de cine, torneos deportivos, talleres de danza o artes visuales. Aprovecha de su estancia para utilizar las instalaciones de nuestro centro deportivo que llamamos el PEPS. Es el centro deportivo universitario más grande del este de Canadá. Nuestras infraestructuras incluyen un anfiteatro, gimnasio inmenso, una sala de entrenamiento ultramoderna de casi 17,000 pies cuadrados, 2 piscinas olímpicas, 2 pistas de patinaje sobre hielo, un estadio de fútbol cubierto que vemos en la foto. Aquí se ve el estadio de fútbol americano que puede contener más de 18,000 personas. El programa, tenemos también 15 clubes RUGEA, que son atletas. El programa de excelencia deportiva RUGEA, rojo y oro, de la Université Laval, es reconocido como uno de los mejores programas de deportes universitarios de Canadá. Unos 500 estudiantes atletas de las regiones de Quebec y otras partes del mundo forman parte de la grande familia, distribuidos en 15 clubes de muchas disciplinas, como atletismo, fútbol americano, natación, rugby, fútbol y tenis. Aprender francés en un entorno único, aunque en algunos de nuestras maestrías y doctorados con proyecto de investigación no se necesitan conocimiento del francés para iniciar el programa, debes saber que nuestra escuela de idiomas ofrece cursos para aprender o perfeccionar su conocimiento del francés. Ofrecemos cursos adaptados a sus necesidades. Cursos de 15 semanas durante los semestres regulares o cursos intensivos de verano de 5 semanas. En lo que se refiere al sistema universitario quebequense, debe saber que comprende 3 ciclos de estudios. Primer ciclo, certificado de licenciatura. Segundo ciclo de ESS o maestría. Y tercer ciclo, doctorado. En el cuadro se ve la duración de cada programa. La tabla le muestra la duración aproximada de cada programa. Entonces, un certificado o diploma de estudios superiores especializados de ESS de 30 créditos tiene una duración de 1 año. La licenciatura cubre de 90 a 120 créditos y dura de 3 a 4 años. Una maestría de 45 créditos dura más o menos 2 años. La maestría puede tomar diferentes formas dependiendo de su orientación profesional o de investigación. El doctorado de 90 créditos dura por lo menos 4 años y enfoca, en la mayoría de los casos, en la realización de un proyecto de investigación. Bueno, la siguiente información nos ayudará a prever el costo de sus estudios universitarios y planificar su presupuesto. Lo que tiene que recordar es que al nivel de la maestría, la colegiatura cuesta entre 250 a 260 mil pesos mexicanos sin becas. Sin embargo, el gobierno quebequense tiene un acuerdo con el gobierno mexicano para la reducción de colegiatura. Igual, la reducción de colegiatura se aplica casi de manera automática al nivel doctorado. Entonces, su colegiatura costaría 49 mil pesos mexicanos al año. Bueno, por supuesto, hay otros gastos a prever, por lo tanto, debe planificar un presupuesto entre 260 a 484 mil pesos mexicanos por año. Aparte de las becas que justo mencioné, la universidad ofrece una variedad de apoyo financiero a sus estudiantes. Voy a enumerar algunos. Las becas ciudadanas y ciudadanos del mundo, las becas de éxito, las becas de su facultad, el fondo del director de investigación y el programa de expansión de los derechos de matrícula. También se alienta a un estudiante con permiso de estudio de trabajar a tiempo parcial en el campus o afuera. Puede trabajar hasta 20 horas por semana. Estudia en la Université Laval, viva la experiencia canadiense. Para terminar, voy a pasar rápido sobre los pasos para realizar su proyecto de estudios. Puede explorar la oferta de formación completa en nuestro sitio web. Segunda etapa, preparar su expediente. Presta atención a las condiciones de admisión. En algunos programas de maestrías y doctorados con proyecto de investigación, se necesita conseguir un director de investigación antes de hacer la solicitud. Tercera etapa, presentar su solicitud de admisión antes de las fechas límites. 1 de febrero para iniciar un programa en el semestre de otoño o 15 de septiembre para el semestre de invierno. Etapa 4, hacer el seguimiento de su solicitud de admisión y una vez que tiene la carta de admisión, puede comenzar los trámites migratorios. Bueno, gracias por su atención. A cualquier momento del proceso, puede comunicarse con nosotros a info@ulaval.ca. La Universidad Laval es también presente en las redes sociales como YouTube, Facebook o Instagram. Al final de este webinar, pienso que tendrá también la posibilidad de hacer sus preguntas. Entonces, otra vez, gracias por su atención. Espero seguirme en contactos con cada uno de ustedes.
Marushka, merci beaucoup. Muchas gracias por compartirnos toda esta información tan interesante de Université Laval. Chicos, si tienen dudas, les sugiero que lo vayan escribiendo en el chat para que ahí mismo Marushka les pueda ir contestando. Ahorita, pues, tengo el gusto de presentarles a Yufei. We are going to switch to English. I'm very glad to introduce Yufei. She's from the University of McMaster, and she's going to present us many things about this university. Yufei, thank you for being here.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry. Can everyone see my presentation?
No, Marushka, could you please? Thank you so much. Yes, that's already in the screen. Thank you, Yufei.
Perfect, thank you. So hello, everyone. My name is Yufei, and I am the International Graduate Student Coordinator at McMaster University. And today I am going to introduce you to McMaster University and just talk a little about who we are, where we are, and what it's like to be a student at McMaster. And I will roughly talk about 4 things today. So I will introduce you to Hamilton, Canada first. And then I will talk about our university and the student life as a graduate student, and a very quick overview of the programs we have. So you may not have heard of Hamilton, Ontario, because we're a very small place that's very close to the biggest city in Canada, and we only have a population of 579,000. We were established in 1846, and every student who's been there have told me that they had different expectations of Hamilton, and when they arrived, they all enjoyed their life here. So we are in the province of Ontario, specifically very southern part of Ontario. We're close to Toronto, Niagara Falls, and the US border. We're roughly about 45-minute drive from Toronto, and this about 50 to an hour drive to Niagara Falls, depending on traffic. We are a small city, but we have a very vibrant art and culture scene, and we have very close access to nature. So we are very close to Lake Ontario and the surrounding lakes, and we have a lot of forested areas, and we're very proud of our access to nature. We have 4 very distinct seasons. In the summer, the temperature can go up to 35 degrees. In the winter, the temperature can go down to -20 with a lot of snow, like you'd imagine in Canada. And I've always heard that students told me that they were prepared for winter, but they weren't prepared for how hot summer can get. So please be mindful of that. And Hamilton is known for our waterfalls. We're known as the city of waterfalls, where we have more than 100 waterfalls and cascades in the city and around the city. So these are just some of the pictures of my favorite waterfalls. They really do look beautiful. And we have hiking trails where you can just hike for like an hour, 2 hours, and you will see small and larger waterfalls along the way. And next, I will talk briefly about McMaster University in general. So we were established in the year 1887, and we are a publicly funded university in Canada. This is a quick overview of our main campus. We are located on the west end of the city of Hamilton. We have 300 acres of very scenic property. As you can see, so the white part is our university, and we're surrounded by trees. And in those trees, we have hiking trails where you can hike to the water and to the lake nearby, and you can take the hiking trail and walk all the way to another city. And we are a very multicultural campus with students coming from over 120 countries. If you're interested in learning more about our campus, I will highly recommend for you to visit the link discover.mcmaster.ca/map. We have a very interactive virtual campus where you can learn about buildings, learn about the facilities, and we also have videos of students talking about their experience in each part of the campus. And of course, we wouldn't be here without our students. We have a total student population of 33,147, where 28,000 of them are undergraduate students and almost 5,000 graduate students. 13.3% of all of our students are international students from 120 countries. And the percentage of our international graduate students are larger in our graduate student body, where 27 of our graduate students are international students. And we're very proud of our alumni, faculty, and staff. We have more than 195,000 alumni representing 162 countries around the world. We have 1,011 full-time instructional faculty members and about 10,000 employees in different employee groups. So all of us are here to support our students in different areas, and we hope that you can eventually access that and learn more about the support services we have available. And of course, our strength, we are known as a very, very research-intensive university. We're also very student-centered, and we're dedicated to advancing human and societal health and well-being. We're named Canada's most research-intensive university in 2017, 18, and 2019 by Research InfoSource, and we're home to more than 70 research centers and institutes. We have 3 affiliated academic hospitals, as well as 6 community hospital partners. In fact, we have hospitals on our campus as well, and we have a very strong health science faculty. We also have more than 70 international exchange agreements in our university. Here is a very brief overview of our rankings. We're number 1 in research intensity in Canada, number 17 in the Times Higher Education University Impact Ranking, number 69 in the World University Rankings, and 78 in the Global University Employability Rankings. Next, I will talk about our student life at McMaster University. This is very close to me personally because I work closely with our student resources team, and I oversee the resources and the events and these initiatives available to international graduate students. And then, of course, during our current situation, we probably won't see the image in this picture anytime soon where we can have all our students gather together at our stadium. But hopefully, by the time that you're on our campus, we will be able to recreate this picture. So as I said, our graduate students have a very vibrant student life. They're supported by our graduate student life team at the School of Graduate Studies, as well as teams at their own faculties. We have a graduate student association as well as an international graduate student association. We have a museum of art on our campus, and they're free to access for our students. They also host workshops and events that help students to appreciate their artwork and to help with students' interest in art and on campus. We have events such as thesis completion boot camps, writing support resources for building supervisor relationships. We are also a part of the 3-minute thesis competition. And outside of School of Graduate Studies, we have the Student Wellness Center and the Student Accessibility Center to support all McMaster students. So we really want to ensure that your time is as positive and as successful as possible at McMaster. We also have a number of student clubs that are student organized that you can join if you're interested. And specifically for international graduate students, we have a international student services where we have a student coach to talk with students individually about their life in Canada. And we also have a certified immigration consultant. Our immigration consultant will be able to help you to navigate everything you need in the immigration world, including your study permit application, your postgrad work permit application, even your employment visa, and everything related that are relevant to you and your family. We also have a service that's dedicated to the development of English language learning called Model. It is a free service, and you're able to book one-on-one consultations to improve your English skills and attend their free workshops to improve your English skills, improve your understanding of the Canadian culture, and just to learn more about the Canadian society and histories in general. And of course, School of Graduate Studies is always here for you. And we also have an international graduate student advisory group. So in this group, staff members and students get together to talk about what the experience of international graduate students, and we come up with ideas for events and ideas for supports through a mutual consultation with our students. And if you start school in September, we have a series of welcome webinars in the summer to prepare you to arrive in Canada and start your studies. This is just some pictures of the libraries we have on our campus. These libraries are 4 of our main libraries, and of course, not every, but some faculties and programs have their own resources and smaller collections, but we do have these 4 libraries as available to all students. And we have a very active athletics scene as well. This is our mascot, Mac the Marauder. And we do have a lot of land around the university, and we also have facilities like climbing walls, sports facilities, mindfulness centers, swimming pools, the stadium, and fitness centers, as well as classes. And we also have multiple clubs and teams, as we're very active in the athletics aspect. Next, I will talk about our graduate programs. I won't have an opportunity to go into any program in detail, but I will recommend for you to just look over this part of presentation just to understand all the programs that we may have for you, and hopefully encourage you to reach out to these programs. At the graduate level, we have 37 course-based programs, 50 thesis-based programs, and 8 interdisciplinary programs. And interdisciplinary programs means that these programs are a collaboration between 2 or more faculties. And we have 6 faculties in our School of Graduate Studies: the Faculty of Health Sciences, Humanities, Social Sciences, Engineering, Science, and Business. I will highly encourage you to visit the website gis.mcmaster.ca/programs for more detail, but here I will provide a brief overview of the number of programs offered at each faculty. At our Faculty of Health Sciences, we have 7 distinct research-oriented graduate programs, 7 collaborative graduate programs, and 5 professional course-based programs at the master's level. And we also have 6 graduate diploma programs. At our Faculty of Humanities, we have 10 master's programs, 7 doctoral programs, and 1 graduate diploma. At our Faculty of Social Sciences, we have 26 programs with various degree options, 9 departments and schools, which includes the School of Social Work, the School of Labor Studies, the Institute on Globalization and Human Conditions. At our Faculty of Engineering, we have 14 programs with 27 degree options, a range of research-based and professional master's degrees and PhD programs, including a flexible industrial PhD. We also have the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, the W. Booth School of Engineering Practice and Technology, and the School of Biomedical Engineering. So if you're interested in our School of Faculty of Engineering, a representative from the Faculty of Engineering will be at the virtual fair later today, and I highly, highly encourage you to go to the fair and talk to her. We also have a Faculty of Science that includes 16 programs with 32 degree options, 7 departments and schools, 5 interdisciplinary programs and specializations, And finally, last but not least, our Digger School of Business consists of 3 MBA and EMBA programs, 5 specialized graduate programs, and 2 PhD programs. So I know there are a lot of numbers from this part of the presentation, and this is why I will highly, highly encourage you to go to our webpage at gs.mcmaster.ca/programs. So this is a quick screen capture of what you will see when you visit this page. You can filter your program of interest by faculty or by the type of degree. So for example, Master of Science or Master of Arts, or and you can also filter it by program type, so thesis or course-based, and degree program options. And you will see a list of programs that suits your filter underneath. When you click on program detail, you will be brought to a page that talks specifically about the program you're interested in, including a contact email and admission requirements, admission timeline, and program structure, and frequently asked questions. So this page is very helpful, as every one of our programs may have a little different in terms of their procedures and requirements. And once you identify the program you're interested in, I highly recommend for you to reach out to the program directly for more information. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening in. And if you have any questions in general about McMaster, you can email askgrad@mcmaster.ca. And if you have any questions about the program you're interested in, please reach out directly to the program. Thank you.
Jufei, thank you so much for all the information you share with us. For sure, it's very interesting, and Hamilton looks so beautiful. Thank you very much. We are going to have some questions in our chat, so if you can answer them in the same way, I think it will be perfect. Thank you, Jufei. Now we're going to start with our third university. I'm very glad to introduce you with Shiny and Cody. They are from University of Saskatchewan. So welcome, Shiny, welcome, Cody. We are so happy to have you here.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you for joining us. I am Shiny, and I am a recruitment officer at USAS with my colleague Cody, and we are going to be talking to you about our home in Canada and our university. Next slide, please. The University of Saskatchewan is located in the vibrant city of Saskatoon and on Treaty 6 territory and homeland of the Métis people in the Saskatchewan province. If you look into the map, you can see we are between Manitoba to the east and Alberta to the west. As people say, Saskatchewan is difficult to pronounce, but easy to draw. Next slide. The province of Saskatchewan is an emerging economic power in Canada. Saskatchewan is the breadbasket of Canada with more than 40% of cultivated farmland, which is 50% of the farmland in Canada. First producer and importer of cereals and legumes, and a major source of potash and uranium. Also, Saskatchewan is the major reservoir of fresh water in Canada with more than 100,000 lakes. Nearly 10% of Saskatchewan's surface is actually water. We have 2 national parks and countless provincial parks for you to explore, from boreal forests in the north to the grasslands in the south. We have beautiful picturesque landscapes in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan is also the province of the living skies because we have the most impressive, multicolor, and always changing skies. Next slide. Yes, and you can see the Aurora Borealis from Saskatoon. The city of Saskatoon is the biggest city in the province, followed by the capital city of Regina. Saskatoon is home to more than 280,000 people. We are well known as the city of bridges because we have 7 bridges to connect to west and east side, since the South Saskatchewan River runs right in the middle of the city. Saskatoon was ranked 18th place to visit in 2018 by the New York Times, and it also has been recognized as a foodie destination by the Forbes magazine. Next slide. We have many festivals during the summer. Next slide. Here you can see people enjoying the banks of our river running through downtown and 2 of the 7 bridges in the city of Bridges. A 20-minute walk from downtown will take you right to our campus. Next slide, please. The university, it was established in 1907. USask has a beautiful Gothic gray stone architecture. It has been noted as one of the most beautiful campuses in Canada multiple times. The tree-lined walkways make the summer and fall seasons a beautiful time to be on campus. In the winter, you get to take advantage of the tunnel connections to all major buildings on campus and avoid stepping outside completely if you live on campus. Next slide. We are a beautiful campus all year round. Next slide, please. So the USask family is big and growing. USask students come from around the world and can become part of the USask family in communities throughout Saskatchewan, where we offer a range of programming from introductory classes all the way through full degree programs in some disciplines. USask is a place where you can learn, grow, and be a part of community that recognizes how beautiful knowledge can be. Thank you. Our research explores diverse areas including cancer treatment, crop development, animal and human vaccines, business, education, Aboriginal issues, natural resource development, sustainability, energy, space science, and nuclear physics. We are also engaged in research partnerships worldwide. The University of Saskatchewan has a strong focus on collaborative and interdisciplinary research aimed at solving pressing global issues such as infectious diseases and food and water security. Research at USask is enhanced by some of the most advanced research centers and facilities in the world. Here are some examples of how we are seeking solutions to the world's greatest challenges. Next slide, please. So USask Vito Intervac is one of the world's largest and most advanced containment level 3 facilities and is a global leader in infectious disease research and vaccine development, combating dangerous pathogens in both animals and humans. Next slide, please. The Global Institute for Water Security supports the sustainable use of the world's water resources and protection against natural hazards like flood and drought. USask is ranked 1st in Canada and 18th in North America for water resources research, according to the 2018 ARW rankings. And the Global Institute of Water Security leads the Global Water Futures Networks, the largest university-led water research program worldwide. The Global Water Futures is transforming the way communities, governments, and industries in Canada and other cold regions of the world prepare for and manage increasing water-related threats, including floods and droughts, in the face of global climate change. As the world's population continues to grow, so does the demand for safe and reliable food. The Global Institute for Food Security is a partnership between government, private business, and USask, working to find solutions to this global challenge. Researchers at Global Institute of Food Security have recently decoded the genomes for both bred wheat and durum wheat, discoveries that will benefit farmers globally. GIFS is also developing new technologies to enhance seed quality and make plants more robust and resilient to disease and insects, and creating perennial seed grains that will reduce the carbon footprint of farming operations, improving crop yields and other benefits. The Canadian Light Source, or the CLS, is a national research facility of USask and Canada's only synchrotron. It produces the brightest lights in Canada, millions of times brighter than even the sun. It is used by more than 1,000 scientists from around the world every year in groundbreaking health, agricultural, environmental, and advanced materials research. Recently, scientists used the CLS to make structural changes to an antibody that is showing a lot of promise for reducing the growth of cancer tumors. Next slide, please. Guided by our university plan, the university the world needs, we work together across disciplines and within our communities to find creative solutions to the most pressing global challenges. Here you can see the recognition of our programs and their rankings in 2018. Our graduates, recognized for their strong work ethic, resourceful nature, and determination, are leading change here at home and around the world. Next slide, please. We have many support services that are ready to help your university experience be successful and be more meaningful. For example, some of these. Next slide, please. For residents on campus options, you have the Graduate House available for you. It is the University of Saskatchewan's newest residence offering for graduate students. They have 1 or 2 person style apartments with kitchen and bathroom in each suite. We have a gym right on campus, and a membership is included in your tuition and fees. You can enjoy playing badminton, basketball, curling, dodgeball, to name a few. We have over 100 plus campus clubs and societies, ranging from ballroom dancing to video game club for you to join. You will definitely find like-minded people. Next slide, please. Our varsity team is called the Huskies. With your student card, you can watch Husky home games with no charge. This includes football, wrestling, track and field, volleyball, to name a few. There are many great opportunities to make friends and build new connections at the University of Saskatchewan. And I will pass it on to Cody.
Awesome. Thank you, Shiny. Okay, so next I will talk a bit about our programs and the process of admissions and that sort of thing. So there's over 140 programs and in over 80 fields of study. And one of the most excellent resources that students can use when they are considering graduate studies at USask is our website. It's actually very, very informative. All the information that you would need is listed very clearly on that webpage. So it's grad.usask.ca. And I'm always encouraging students to check it out as much as they can. So those are the steps to applying. So the first one is, of course, finding the program. And then you would go to the webpage that I just described. And then you would search for the requirements and deadlines. So say, for example, what the English proficiency requirement is, or what the minimum average is, or that sort of thing. Like you could go and view what is required to do that program, and then what deadlines, what times of year they intake students, and that sort of thing. Next, you would apply for admission. So for some programs, you do need to contact the supervisor beforehand, and it would say so on the program page. So once you've contacted a supervisor and they've indicated that they would like to have you as a student, then they will invite you to apply for admission. And from there, you'll just make sure that you submit all of your documents. And then finally, you'll get a lovely letter in the mail and you'll be able to accept your offer of admission. So the steps to applying, of course, as I just described, finding a program on grad.usask.ca. So the minimum cumulative weighted average is 70%. So that's on a USask equivalent. So for example, at one university, the average might be like 65, or it might be an 85, or it might be a 75. But then once we convert it to how we calculate our grades at USask, then it might be close to around or slightly higher or slightly below a 70. But yeah, the minimum cumulative weighted average is 70%, and that's based on your last 2 years of full-time study, or the equivalent to 60 credit units at USask. And then they ask that you have a demonstrated ability for independent thoughts, advanced study, and research. So for graduate studies, they like to have students who have some sort of research experience, or if they've done some cool projects. It's absolutely awesome to include that in your application and in your statement of research. Professors love to see that sort of stuff when they're going through students' credentials. So for master's programs, you would need a 4-year undergraduate degree or equivalent in an academic discipline that's relevant to your proposed field of study. And then for doctoral programs, a research-based master's degree or equivalent from a recognized university in a relevant field. Steps to applying, of course, going to grad.usask.ca and finding the following information. So first is the deadlines. Each academic unit does set their own deadline for their applications, so it's very important to go to grad.usask.ca and find the relevant information that is pertinent to the program that you're interested in. Academic units do also make decisions on scholarships and fellowships at set times during the year. Some might make those decisions in February, others might make them at the end of December. It varies in between academic units across campus. So it's very important to check that information out. Learn the requirements, and then also double checking the application process. So for English language proficiency, they look at an overall band score of 6.5 for IELTS and no area below 6.0. And for TOEFL, a minimum score of 86 and then no individual score below 19. How am I for time? Someone let me know.
Cody, you still have a couple of minutes. You have like 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so steps to applying, proof of English language proficiency. So they'll look at the scores that I just mentioned. And that's if that's required. So if you do have a minimum of 3 years of academic study in English, so that could either be in high school or it could be at the university level, then you would meet the language proficiency requirements from that. You wouldn't need to take the test. The next, once you have either contacted your supervisor if you needed to, or if you don't, then you could just go ahead and fill out the application. You could go to grad.usas.ca, fill out the online app, and submit it there. You'll need 3 referees, so 3 references. And then you'll also need to submit all of your documents, including transcripts from all post-secondary institutions you attended, and then, of course, the $9 application fee. Then once all that's submitted and you've completed all of the steps, then you'll be able to view your application status and probably see a decision within a month or two, a few months. They say about 6 to 12 weeks. There we go. Yeah. So if you have any further questions, please feel free to get in touch with either Shiny or I. Shiny's information is here. So it's shiny.shudari@usas.ca. And then mine is cody.bugler@usas.ca. Alternatively, we do have a graduate studies recruitment email. That's grad.recruit@usas.ca. But for most of the questions that do come up, the information is available on grad.usas.ca. So that's probably the primary resource, but we'd totally love it if you got in touch with us. Anyway. All right.
Cody and Shani, thank you so much for all these wonderful things you said. It really helped me to say University of Sask rather than University of Saskatchewan. That is kind of complicated, as Shiny said. Thank you very much. So if there has been many responses in the chat, but if any of the participants has another question, please feel free to open your microphone and make the question directly to Marushka, Shiny, Cody, or Jufei.
Thank you, Erica. Well, we received some questions. If I have just a couple minutes, Erica, just to mention something to our audience. Definitely take advantage of the people that are here today, and also if you're visiting the fair, and ask all the questions that you need. Remember that the more information you have, the better prepared you'll be to submit a strong application. And another thing to notice, just to remind you that Canadian universities have different seasons for receipt of applications. Students can either start their studies in September or January, depending on the program that you're interested in studying. So please make sure that you get all the information you need so you can apply in time for the program of your interest. Thank you so much. And I see some questions there, I think. Okay, no, it's just Shiny answering the question in terms of supervising. Yes, and just another thing that I would like to mention quickly, I'm sorry, Erika. For those of you also interested on getting more information on how to contact a supervisor, that's a typical question that I've seen with a lot of students. We do, if you visit our website on the webinar section, we actually have a webinar that we invited some of our member universities. I think the University of Saskatchewan is one of those, where they provide information in terms of what is the best way to contact supervisors, not only at Saskatchewan, but the different member universities of the consortium, the times, I want to call like the etiquettes of what to include in your email, how often you should, check back with them, and all the key information in order for you to get in touch with potential supervisors.
Yes, this thing that Viviana is telling is very important. It's one of the best things that you can have from Caldo Consortium, because they make these strong relationships with supervisors. So I really encourage you to contact Caldo and contact also, go to the virtual fair. I think it's going to be very interesting. You are going to have all the universities from the consortium. And it's obvious to say that every program is different, every university is different, so it's very important for you to choose the one that is for you. So we are having here a lot of opportunities, a lot of alternatives, so make a very strong research in the many websites, and I'm sure you're going to find the best program and university for you.
Thank you so much, Erika. Just so one comment there, when and where is the fair? So the fair is the virtual fair. Es una feria virtual, chicos. Ustedes pueden entrar y salir a la hora que quieran, durar el tiempo que gusten. Van a estar 8 de nuestras universidades ahí. Ustedes pueden platicar directamente con Cody, con Shiny, con Yufei. Ellos van a estar ahí para darles más información, la información más detallada acerca de los programas que ofrecen sus universidades. Y como les menciono, va a ser hoy en la hora de México, va a iniciar a las 3 de la tarde y va a cerrar a las 7 de la noche, pero como les digo, ustedes pueden entrar a la hora que gusten dentro de ese horario.
Gracias, Viviana. Les estamos dejando también la liga en el chat para que puedan entrar directamente y registrarse. Y de la misma manera, pues queremos invitarlos. El próximo jueves tendremos a la Organización Internacional para las Migraciones. Tienen un programa muy, muy interesante que se llama Fit for Students, en donde, pues vamos a ver diferentes opciones que tienen para todos esos gastos extras de avión y demás. Va a ser pues un webinar muy interesante, muy diferente a los que hemos estado teniendo. Ojalá que también nos puedan acompañar.
Pues muchísimas gracias a todos por participar en la sesión de hoy. La verdad les agradecemos mucho el interés que muestran por Canadá, por nuestras universidades, y esperamos que verlos ahora sí en persona en Canadá, por acá. And also I'd like to thank our member universities for taking the time I know it's going to be a super busy day today with the fair, so thank you so much for participating today at this webinar.
Thank you so much, Viviana, for making this opportunity to share all this information. Thank you also, Yufei, Shiny, Cody, and Marushka for this time that you share with us. And Liliana, also thank you for being here with us. I'm Erika Alfaro. We wait for you in our next webinar next Thursday. Thank you very much and have a very good afternoon.